Hi, it's Karen here from Dark Moon Emporium, and today I've been converting handwriting into an image that can be processed by my laser and engraving on glass. I really love perfume. I'm not a huge wearer of makeup on a daily basis. I keep that for if I'm going out somewhere special, but I do like my fragrance. I do like to dab a bit of perfume behind my ears or on my wrists when I leave the house. And over the years, through being given gifts or for purchasing myself, I've acquired quite a number of bottles of perfume. I shudder to think how many I actually left behind when I moved in the summer. But regardless, so I've taken to buying these dupes. So this particular bottle is from a place called the Essence Vault, and I've got a number of bottles of perfume from them. And whereas a designer perfume can sometimes set you back £70 or more, a 100ml bottle from the Essence Vault is nearer £27. This size, which is kind of my favourite size because I can get through it in a reasonable amount of time, 30ml. These are around £16, and you can get sample bottles, 5ml, for £5. So it's a very good way of trying out different perfumes. However, for me, the issue is that while on their website they will tell you that this fragrance is inspired by, I think this one's inspired by Flower Bomb. They're sold just under a number, so it's number 14, number 37, number 25, or whatever it is, and I have to, I find it a little bit annoying sometimes to either write on the back in Sharpie, which to me spoils the look of the bottle, or do what I've done here. Let me have a look. Here we are. On the inside of that one, can you see? The light is bad. There we go. So I've written what it's a dupe of. In this case, it's Rose Prick. So, got to be a better way, I thought, and knowing that I have a laser, I thought I'd give a go at engraving on the glass bottles. Did a lot of research. A lot of people have done this before me. I want to say that right up front. But it was surprisingly easy. And having done that, I also have this, which was a gift from my husband. Now, my husband always gave me perfume at Christmas or for my birthday because he knew how much I loved it. And this is one of the favourite fragrances that he got for me. So I took a sample of his handwriting and I engraved it onto the bottle. And stay with me and I will show you how I did it. So here we are in XCS, and for demonstration purposes I've just written a message on here, "Be my Valentine," onto an index card, and I don't want all of this stuff here. I just want the sentiment. So how can I get that to import into my laser? Well, I'm going to begin by cropping my picture, and I'm just going to get rid of as much of what I don't need as possible. Just dragging the handles here into what I need, and I'm going to save that. Okay, so here is the sentiment that I want. Well, I still have this nasty greyish looking background. In fact, it was a yellow card, so it's come in at a rather strange colour, and I don't want that, and I don't want the guidelines here. So what can we do? Well, let's begin by making it as sharp as it possibly can. So we'll adjust that, and we'll maybe forget about that bit. So now I have my sentiment, but I've still got this greyish looking background. The actual index card was yellow, so it's come in at a rather weird colour. And I've got these guidelines here that I also don't want appearing in my final image. So what can we do? Let us see. Well, let's go to Edit, and I'm going to bring this up a bit so that it fits on the screen. There we go. And I'm going to start with the magic wand. And I'm going to click on the areas that I want to get rid of. And I'm just going to keep clicking and just clicking and clicking and clicking on these grey bits here. There's still some leftovers, but not to worry, we'll deal with those in a little while. We'll get rid of all of those, so it's looking a lot better already. But we've still got some noise left here, and we've still got these lines. Now, if I just click on the line itself with the magic wand, it starts to take out things that I actually do want. Okay, so if I hit here, I can put that back. And along here it's even worse. Can you see it's taken out my letter B as well? So don't want that to happen. So what can we do? Well, over here we have eraser. And I'm going to start with it quite big because I can see a lot of noise around here that I don't want. So I'll get rid of as much of that as quickly as I possibly can. There's still a fair old bit left, but not to worry. And wherever the line isn't touching anything, I can take that out. And along here and along here, I can take those out. But I've still got some bits that could be sensitive. So what I'm trying to do is, as far as possible, take out the line where it touches my letters. I've gone too small on that now. So just to leave myself as little as possible to do. So I'm just breaking the connection wherever it is touched by a letter. Okay, and then I can go back to my magic wand and just continue to click. And if I didn't get it quite right, I'm not going to worry about that, but I'm just going to do as much as I possibly can. So I just want to break, with the eraser, I just want to break the connection to the various letters. Just to save myself a little bit of work. Back to the so now I can take away some of these bits of line. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and concentrate at the same time. So let's go back to my eraser, and again I can be quite bold with the eraser here now, because I'm not actually touching anything. Okay, so now it's going to get a little bit fiddly. So I'm going to zoom right in, and I'm just going to start working with my eraser and just very carefully going in around the letters. Now, this can be quite time consuming, and if you're dealing with something, you know, something precious, some precious, you know, maybe your granny's fruitcake recipe or whatever it is, you're going to want to be very careful and really take your time. As I said, I'm already struggling a bit trying to talk and act at the same time, and in a minute or two I will just kind of jump cut to where all of this is finished. But really take your time, right? Because this, if it's something precious, you really want to, you know, you really want to make a good job of it. And if you go too far, you take out something that you didn't want, well, you can always either Command or Control Z, or just hit the undo button there and just keep working on it. And you can change the size of the eraser. That's more than I wanted to do there. That's better. And just work away at it until you're satisfied. This, of course, is just a little scribble that I've done for demonstration purposes. So, you know, this wouldn't be something that I would worry about unduly. And to be honest with you, I think if I was doing this for real, rather than just for demonstration purposes, I would probably use the iPad app and the scribble feature in that, and just write it direct on the iPad. But I'm doing this for demonstration purposes. So let's go into fast forward, or actually let's go into the future where all of this is done, and then we'll move on to the next step. This is black tempera paint, and the reason why tempera paint is recommended for this kind of job is, one, it is nice and opaque, and two, it washes off easily in water. Acrylic paint will also be opaque, but it can be a struggle to get it off again when you've finished. So I'm going to be using some of that. I'm going to be using some water to dilute it, and I'm going to be using my inexpensive airbrush that I bought from Amazon. Editing Karen here. I just wanted to say that I've also had good results using the Montana chalk spray. However, I do prefer the tempera for two reasons. One is that the chalk spray has a very strong smell. You really need to be in a well ventilated area, or preferably outside. And two, it brushes off very easily. It will come off on your fingers if you just touch the object. So for that reason, I'm going to be using tempera from now on. So the first thing I'm going to do, this is what was left over from yesterday. I'm going to pour a little bit of my acrylic tempera paint into my cup here. Don't need gallons, that's fine. And then I'm going to just splosh in just a little bit of water to begin with, just not much. all I'm doing here is trying to thin the paint enough so that it'll run through the airbrush easily. And I want something that's about the consistency of milk. So I want it thick enough that it'll cover easily, but thin enough. And I think I'm getting there. Needs to be thin enough that it'll go through the airbrush easily. Okay, so I think I'm there. And now I'm going to put some of this into the cup of the airbrush. And the reason why I'm all gloved up and I've got my protective sleeves on is not because anything is in any way toxic, because it's not. We use tempera paint in primary schools with children. It is because I am a mucky Mary, and if I can get myself covered in paint, then I will. I've made sure that my bottles are nice and clean, given them a spray with some methylated spirits and giving them a good rub to make sure there are no fingerprints on there, because I want the paint to adhere to the glass. And I'm just going to get ready to spray. So first thing I'm going to do is turn on. It's a little bit noisy, so I shan't speak through this bit. Speed it up a bit. Check that I've got a good flow of paint. And away we go. So I'm going to allow that to dry, come back to it, check that there aren't any thin spots, but then that's ready to be engraved. And I've got a whole batch of other perfume bottles sitting in front of me, so I'm just going to sit here and give them all a nice coat of the tempera paint. So for my little perfume bottles, I've created a template because I've got quite a collection of these dupe perfumes. So I've started off by measuring the bottle, and I've created a rectangle of that size, which I think is 45 by 60 or something like that. I've put it on its own layer and I've set it to ignore, because that's just there for me to decide where I'm placing things. I've added in the words inspired by, and that font is called Copperplate if you're interested. Sized it the way I want it, and set it to engrave. And I have also locked these two shapes, okay? So I can't do anything to them, can't move them around or anything like that, because this is my template, and all I'm going to do is just change the name of the perfume on each of the bottles. So I'm going to bring in my text font, there you go, and I'm going to set that to engrave so I can see it clearly, and I'm going to move it to a different layer so I can see clearly what I'm doing. Click in here, I'm going to change the name to the next perfume that I'm doing, which is called Joy. And the font I like for these is here, and it's called CG Downright. There it is. I just like the shape of that one. So I now bring that to where I want it, size it down a bit, and center it, and just check that that is in fact aligned on the horizontal align center, and it didn't move at all, so I've done a good job with that. And I'm now going to set the parameters, so it's on engrave already, and I'm in my user defined menu here, I have one for glass, and it's popped up to the top of the list. And just as a reminder, the parameters that I use for glass that work very well for me are power 100, speed 50, 1 pass, 140 lines per centimetre, and I'm using the blue light laser. So I'm ready now to frame that up and to send it to the laser to be engraved. So let's hit start. And these are back from being engraved. And now what I need to do is take a damp cloth, and again I've got gloves on, not because there's anything hazardous in any way, but because I am, as indicated previously, a mucky Mary. Just wipe that off. And don't know how well you can see that there, but it has engraved in my husband's handwriting, and if I run my thumb over it I can feel the engraving. So that's that one. And now this is the Inspired by Joy bottle, and that wipes up as clean as anything, and that was a very, very quick project. So all I have to do now is to dry this off, and I'm going to take the label off the bottle, and they do come off quite well. See, I can pick that up even though I'm wearing gloves, and I can give that a tug, and now I have my nice bottle and I know what's in it. And there we go. That's the finished result. I'm just trying to tilt that to try and get a good shot for you. So I've got several more bottles that I need to do, so I'm going to go away and work on them. Now, something like this, I thought you could, if you were planning on giving somebody a bottle of perfume for Valentine's Day, you know, just an idea, or, you know, for a birthday, you could write your own message and you could engrave it and make that perfume extra special. But that is all I've got for you today. I do thank you very much for joining me. I thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. I'd be absolutely thrilled skinny if you liked this video, if you could click the thumbs up button. And yes, I know I've been away for a while, but all my moving in is done now, and I hope I'm going to be posting videos more regularly in the future. So why not subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell and know when I'm uploading. But for now, once again, thank you very much. Hope I see you again soon. But for now, bye-bye.